Okay, so you know I got the BC Racing Coilovers BR series. You see it right there. I'm gonna take the shocks out, open these bad boys up, and install them. Open this up. Ooh, that's fresh. Get some instructions. Appreciate it. Yes. I was waiting for this one. Okay, that's one of them. I'm pretty sure they're both labeled. Okay, so now that we pretty much loosened the bolt, so right there, taking that 18mm bolt, so I'm gonna leave this right here. I had this thing supported, so it dropped a little bit. I'm gonna take this out to take the spring up, and right now we're gonna focus on the shock. And yeah, so we're gonna go up top. So we're pretty much working, discussing, and then focus. Okay, so I'm using my iPhone right now, so I don't know if you can see that there's like a little rubber bonnet. It's right there, so we want to remove that. Okay, so we pretty much want to get a 13mm socket with the ratchet and get these two screws right here. There's one right here and one right behind it, so let's get to it. Just like that. I don't know if I caught that on video, but take that out. The strut pretty much just falls. I just installed the strut right now. I just put the new 13mm bolts, and I use this reinforcement plate from ESS2. I highly recommend it if you're doing a rear suspension on one of these cars and these chassis. Definitely recommend it. Okay, so now start taking the spring out. Put your foot on here, apply weight, and take the strut out. There's take it out. So I take the spring out, the bottom end, top end. See, that's the old rear and the new one. Put those in there, clean that out, and yeah, continue going. This is the rear spring, so you pretty much want to take the old stock rubber pads off the old spring. Pretty much a pain to do the bottom part, so you know, try to pry it as best as you can. Don't try not to damage it, but yeah, this is what I got so far, and I'm gonna put this in there. Line up this bolt right here. Now I got the spring in. Pretty much want to jack this up, put this bolt in, and then yeah, continue on to the rear. Okay, so now we've pretty much got everything in. The spring's in, it's sitting really good. The shock is in. I just tightened up the 19mm right here on the shock right here. So this is pretty much hand tying all done. I'm gonna start putting the wheel back on this. So now it's pretty much the next day, so now I'm working on the front of the coilovers. I got those right here. I just took the fronts, pretty much used the center jacking point. It's right by the oil pan. Those being them, you guys know, they understand. So now I have it jacked up safely. I'm gonna take the suspension out. So this is what we're working with. Some dirty ass rotors, brake pads and all that, and then the strut right is right there. Take that off. So what we're gonna do, I think it's we're gonna take this bolt that's pretty much in the knuckle that's holding suspension, and then yeah, take the brake lines and all the sensor lines out of the way. Yeah, let's do that. I'm taking off the linkage right now. Right now, if you see, I'm gonna zoom in on the camera. I just took off that nut that's right here. This was a 16mm. The drill, you want to use a 16mm socket for the front, and in the back you want to use another 16mm open wrench so that the nut doesn't spin. So that's going to help you out for this. You want to use a jack to support just in case this goes down. But right before we lower the suspension, we're going to do these cables right here. I don't know if you see the sensors. Let me pull it right here. I'm going to push these cables out. Now that I have a good position on the 16mm open wrench on it, I'm going to use the drive now and just use one hand my best way. Just like that. And just like that. I'm going to take the rest by hand. remove the sway bar like so. Okay, so now we're gonna take this nut right here, 18 millimeter. So we're gonna tackle this with the wrench and then use the drive after. It's the 18 millimeter, the holding the knuckle. So pretty much got the drive, comes with the little seal right here. So this is bracket. That's why I mentioned earlier, take these cables, because just in case the suspension drops. But yeah, so you take this nut like so, pull it out, put that to the side. Actually no, take this cable with you. Yeah, just remember that it goes like this, FYI. But yeah, take this, put it to the side right now. Now we're pretty much gonna PV the shit out of the knuckle, because look how crusty it is. Oh my gosh, we're just gonna bang it until it drops, and then I'm gonna have to lower the jack that I have this down here. I'm gonna have to lower this bad boy. I got some penetrating spray, so I'm gonna spray this a little bit on there. Okay, so we're pretty much halfway there. So I've been pretty much using that hammer and just hitting this end right here. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty much out. I just have to wiggle it a little bit. Now that we moved it from the knuckle like this, we're gonna attack the 3 bolts. I'm gonna tell you what size when I get up there, but I'm gonna tell you the size. But yeah, we're gonna get to it now. All done. Looking good right now. Okay, so the nuts up top holding the strut is 13 millimeters. So you got 1, 2, 3. Before you do that, you wanna take these out. I think the strut bar, 13 millimeters on 2 on that side, 2 on this side. Can move on to these 3 right here. So hopefully these aren't too hard to take out. So I was taking all the packages out and I forgot to purchase a reinforcement plate. You should always buy one of these if you decide when to do your coilovers on your M3. Highly recommend it for the fronts. Okay, so now that we pretty much put the whole strut inside, I got the 13 millimeter bolts on 13 millimeter nuts right here. Installed the reinforcement plate. I don't know if you can see that. It's installed like so. I got the reinforcement plate, as you can see. Hand tightened the 13 millimeter nuts that are up top. This strut pretty much in this knuckle. Right here there's a dial pin. I don't know if the camera's gonna be. There's a dial pin that's pretty much supposed to go behind between these knuckles right here. There's a pin dowel. I don't know if you see that. It's right between the cracks. I'm gonna see if I can point it right there. That pin is supposed to align right between these 2, so that's supposed to be right in the middle. I got the end link, sway bar end links pretty much installed. 18 millimeter back that holds the strut knuckle right here, so I've put that back, put all those back in. The next step for this is pretty much put the wheel back on, take the floor jack off, and everything looks good. Disgusting rusted, but yeah, that's the suspension. Looks pretty good. BC. Okay, so that's pretty much it of the coilover install. Everything's tightened up. Make sure everything you put back is put back in its place. Make sure everything's tightened. And yeah, so now we're gonna put the wheel and the lug nuts on, and then pretty much gonna lower the car and see where it's sitting. I know it'll take a couple of days for the coilovers to adjust the height, but yeah, let's do it. Alright, so this is how the car sits with the BC coilovers. It's pretty nice. Probably like 4 fingers. Well, 3 technically, but yeah, I just have it on the stock. Whatever height adjustment they had it. And the rear, that's the front, looks good. The rear, not too bad. 2 fingers there. Nice. This one had a flat tire, so I had to come here and put air. Hopefully, I I was pretty much driving on the flat. Hopefully I didn't mess up the tire wear, because it looks like dry. Let's take a picture of the car that I would sit in. Right side. Front's kind of high, but it's alright. It's really dirty. I need a wash, but yeah, that's the car, guys. BC Coilovers done. And yeah, I'm gonna drive it for a little bit. Just have it. The car still needs to get alignment, so after this, I'll probably take it to a nearby shop somewhere. Hopefully that tire doesn't go out on me, because I'm gonna be very upset. Hopefully that tire doesn't go out on me, but yeah, that's the car. And yeah. Okay, so this is a few days later. Car's kind of dirty, I haven't washed it, but this is pretty much the ride height for the front and the rear of the BC Racing Coilovers BR series. Ride's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of stiff. Yeah, it's kind of bumpy. I bet right on the forums that the car usually will settle in around a week, or I think a week and a half, so hopefully that works, but by far not so bad. You know, I like the ride height. Not too low, because I really don't want to scrape the bumper, even though there's minor hits already on my canards or pieces I have in my bumper. But yeah, so far I like the height. Rear is pretty good, same pretty good. I'm just saving up for wheels right now. But yeah, I'm really satisfied with the way the BC coilovers are looking. I don't know. Check the front. Wow, that looks really. That's pretty much the end of the BC coilovers. Thank you for sticking around. Those who watched, like and subscribe if this was kind of helpful. And stay tuned for the next mod in the car. And there'll be more now that the weather is warming up now. And you know what that means? It's starting to take out these cars out. So that pretty much means more videos will be coming soon. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so take care, guys. And until next time.